one of my colleagues spoke to is the need for you to create a change management plan after you develop and roll out this policy. It's very important because you need to get your staff to know the do's and don'ts. Clearly, you need to define a type of workstation they should be in, depending on the nature of the work, when they are participating in work. Clear schedules of when meetings will be held must be agreed in advance. The idea behind is to allow your workers or your employees to be available when you need them. Another policy that we, in my current, my employers now with my current organization, you know, you need to be alive to the innovation, including AI policy. Now, this is very important, not to create static or robot employees. One of the dangers that you see over time when you adopt excessively remote work is that your staff, basically, their growth plan in the organization is affected. So you need to be clear also about succession plan or growth of your respective employees and the kind of support you're going to give them whilst they're working remotely. I think briefly that's what I'll add to the conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And for the benefit of everyone, the reason why professional bodies exist, and I'll tell you what we do at IHRM, we always come up with a policy statement, put it in our website for employers to pick it up and see if they can adopt within their workplace, which cuts across the responsibility of the employer and the employees. Now, Wally, the question asked directly to you by our good friend Catherine from Uganda. You talked about the soft skills. How can you best pick them during an interview? Quickly, if you can answer that.
Very quickly, thanks for that question. It's very important. And I will come back to those two statements. Qualifications are what the person has learned. Experience is what the person has done. So we need to leverage on those two in order to be able to identify the skills. It's not by asking direct questions. Are you adaptable? Can you work in a stressful environment or some question like that? It's not by asking directly the question. It's actually by picking in the experience some question like, tell me an occasion, a situation where you had to deal with so, and then the person with the explanation has to demonstrate the ability, the potential, the capability for the skills you are looking for. So those are soft skills. It's something that you have to observe, have to feel from the conversation and from the experience. So we cannot just put away experience. It's important. We cannot put away qualification. We just use those to say, okay, the person learned this, the person has done this, so the skill might be valid or that box can be checked. So briefly, during an interview, we can sense it that way by asking the question and raising it.
Thank you. Thank you, Wally. And a question which was asked to all of us by Mr. Raj is that while we've pushed for this remote work, how do we ensure that everyone is fully engaged while working from home? I can start with you, Calvin.
Thank you very much. So I think we'll pick it from the response that Ahmed had given. So once you have agreed in principle and it's reduced in policy that staff or employees will work from home, then the starting point is, what are they going to be doing when they're at home? So there must be clarity. It must be clear from the onset. If you're going to work from home, what are the specific deliverables? Here we are discussing outputs. What are the specific deliverables we expect out of your work? Must be clear. When should these deliverables be available? Timelines. It must be very clear. Like I said in my previous response, you know, if you implement a program without a change management plan to achieve your desired output, I can tell you, you will struggle. A lot of legislation has been passed. A lot of us have struggled to domesticate it. So for me, the targets must be clear, the outputs, the standard operating procedures, including a calendar. It's important to do a calendar. In a gig world, a flexi world, you need to have a schedule. Because you will tell me that I will work from home and you don't give me a calendar, you've just given me specific deliverables. I will go and work from the farm. Some of us like to milk cows. We like to keep, where I come from, a cow is synonymous with myself. So I will go and look after animals. The time you need me for a meeting, I will not be available. In the end, you start rescheduling meetings because you need me in the meeting. So it must be clear. Agree on what is expected out there. Clarity. Again, we go back. Be clear on your schedule. Be clear on the outputs, the deliverables, and also just what other support an employee needs to get must also be clear. So how do they get that support? One of the good things is that whatever search engine that has made AI domicile in it will not address the question wellness of a human being. It will not address it. AI will never address your mental problems. If you have them, just look for a counselor and get your problems sorted. AI will just tell you, I'm not a human being. I don't know how you feel. Speak to someone who feels the way you feel. Maybe then your problems can be resolved. So it's important also to just, within your policy provision, tell your employees what kind of support they will get, how they will get that support. That way, it's easier for you to get what you want.
Thank you so much, Calvin. What I've picked from you, clarity on what are the deliverables, a calendar that we can all work together with, and what is the support they expect from you, including if it means providing access to that technology that you should work with. Thank you. Wally, anything you would want to add to that conversation to keep employees engaged at home?
Yes, my colleagues said it very well, especially Mr. Gobe talked about it. The clarity, as Calvin emphasized on, clarity is important, but also the capability of managers. Okay. Mr. Gobe talked about capability, self-management first, but also the managers needs to be capable of managing remote people. Also, the company or with the managers needs to implement a certain level of trust with accountability. It means you need to trust the employees on delivering the job, not pushing them with a stick to keep them engaged. If you set clarity, we agreed on the terms, what needs to be delivered, I have to trust you into delivering that job. But also the employee needs to know that I'm accountable into delivering this within the timeline, agreed agenda, etc. So trust is important, and you need to make it clear that I trust you on doing this job, and also maybe develop the managers into guiding them in that management form of remote workforce. So basically, we can combine the three: clarity, trust, and adaptability.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Wally. And also, since Mr. Gobir has already spoken to it, I will not ask him the same question, but just to add on one thing, that over and above, do not forget to be inclusive. Sometimes when we have a hybrid, we tend to forget the people who are working from home and share information with those in office. So make sure your communications are also as inclusive as possible. I know there were many other hands, My panel will be available for you to consult them. But also there is a very good gentleman who asked, what about the future? And I think his question was answered in this conversation, because this was a futuristic conversation of, after the 3 days, what are the policies we're going to set on what we discussed. So in 2 minutes, I would like to give my panelists an opportunity for a parting shot, starting with the president, Mr. Gobir.
Right. Thank you very much. I think we've had some very scintillating conversation around remote work and around the gig economy. It's something that we are all living with. What we need to do going forward is to enable it even more. Our young ones, especially the Gen Zs, the millennials that we have, whether we like it or not, will continue to try in their own way, to get us to adopt more, of the remote work and, of course, the gig economy. I have had a situation where, for example, a Gen Z who works in one of our teams wrote a very lengthy email and complained about his manager bullying him, just like Calvin said earlier on. And when we investigated what happened, he works in a team where sometimes they have to do overtime. He didn't want to do overtime. So the manager insisted, we do overtime here. And the gentleman said, look, anything beyond 5 o'clock, I am done. And don't even call me over the weekends, And I think the manager tried calling once. So the guy went to the whistleblowing platform and wrote, my manager is bullying me. Right. And then we investigated, and this was what it turned out to be. So when I asked this same young person, if you were to do what they're asking you to do remotely, well, by all means, sir, I will do it. And he did, as a matter of fact. So it's something that we're already living in. But we also have situations where, for those of us who live in Lagos or Nigerians who know, there's a market we call Oyinbo market in Nigeria. And we're talking about somebody working remotely. Outcomes were set, deliverables were set. The line manager did not get this deliverable, and he called in this manager, and you could hear, just like you said, you have moles saying whatever. This time around, it wasn't moles. It was market women saying, you have to pay this for that pepper, for that tomato. That's someone who said he was working remotely. So all in all, what we need to do is, like we said earlier on, be clear, and that's where clarity comes in, about what your expectations are, what the outcome should be. Hold everyone accountable for what they also have to do. Accountability is not just a line manager thing. It is also, an employee thing. Everyone should be clear about what they have to do, and they must be clear about what is expected of them. Accountability and clarity. Thank you.
Thank you, Gobir. Wali, your parting shot.
Okay. Very briefly, as I was thinking about it, it's not easy to close after Mr. Gobir. He closes everything. So what I will just add is that flexibility. We should put flexibility of, we shouldn't put flexibility of remote work with the constraint of remote that comes with remote work, because the flexibility will have us ask questions, as the audience asked. Can we trust them? Can we have the same level of productivity? Is remote work the same as for how we say it again, present work? So we should not put them together. Instead, it should be taught one by one or separately. So basically, I would just say, okay, gig work, remote work, whatever it is, it needs to be adapted to the organization, specifically to the organization. ILO, the conventions and companies, the governments, they ratify, they set the a standing point. Now the companies needs to adapt it and specialize it. So basically, that's what I wanted to.
Thank you, Wally. Calvin, your parting shot.
Thank you very much. I hope that we don't have remote marriages here. In my space, we have a lot of those remote marriages because you see, we deploy a lot of customs officers in the borders. Some borders don't have the facilities that women love. You know, mascara, nail, you know, those things, they're not there in the borders. So you find that when an officer is in the border, they look different from when they are in the cosmopolitan town. I'm just hoping that that's not the trend that we are in. But I think what is also important to note from this conversation is that we discuss a number of these things on platforms like this. And once we pack our bags, get on those planes and get back home, this just becomes a memorial through the photos that we took and maybe one or two people that we met. We don't get to implement some of these things. What we want to see is when we look at next year's conference, we should come and get 2 stories of the people that started what we've discussed. And that's very important. At least we should hear 2 stories that we started, we never had, we started, and now we know who can work from home and who cannot work from home. It's very important for us to begin to be practical about some of these things and not just end in conversations like this. And lastly, I want to encourage us colleagues to focus on attending the International Labour Organization conference. There are a number of things that are discussed on that platform. Most of the times we will find maybe 6 HR organizations from Africa. It would be nice to get to have more. And we need to do that in order for us to also just stamp authority on the global platform and various platforms for us to have that presence to the extent that what we discussed today becomes but serious policy that the world over considers taking on board. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please join me in congratulating my panel for delivering on the topic Africa's gig and remote workforce policy and productivity strategy. A clap for my panel. And a clap to each and every one of you. You know, I can see all of you from here. I see some of you are looking at me instead of clapping. So also a clap for yourself. And I must say this, Raj, if this was a working group, and I hope the Secretariat can take note that we can actually have a policy direction on the topic we discussed that we can propose to the Africa at large that can be adopted. All of us, we have somewhere to start. I will not want this conversation to go to waste without giving it a head start to everyone who have attended and also take the conversation to a bigger platform, including the Africa Union. Thank you so much. I have enjoyed moderating this panel. I've learned a lot, and that is the beauty when you sit with fellow professionals. And I'm glad Gobir is a lawyer. I always tell people, HR is the foundation of any institution. And if in a house the foundation is not strong, it will easily be swallowed. Step up and take your role up and go and change your workplaces and tell them it's no longer about the future of work. The future is right here with us and we must work towards it. And let's not forget something that has been coming up in the midst of technology and AI. Mental wellness is key, and that is something that AI cannot provide for you. It cannot embrace you as a human. So let's not also lose the human connection. Asante. Back to you, Grace.
Thank you. Let's appreciate the panel. You can move to the front so that we can get a photo. as we invite Chair for THRAP, Mr. Kabalika, to come and hand over the ushers. If you can bring the trophies for the speakers. Just move here, yes. Just move to the front so that we can get that photo. All right, let's get the photo. If we can get the photo. Thank you very much. Ushers, if you can get the packages for the speakers. Very, very amazing. You guys you're full of information. So if you can just get a minute so that we can get this done. Let me have one. Bring.
Africa, from the roots we rise. Africa, Africa, from the roots we rise. Simuza Africa. Simuka, Africa.
Thank you very much, our panelists. You have done an amazing job, and we really appreciate learning from you. And all right, Mr. Raj, you can join us. Yes, you need to join the photo. All right, let's get those wonderful smiles. And Kevin has talked about remote wives and husbands. And I spoke about all of us being single in Arusha. All right, thank you very much. And Mr. Kabalika wants to take a photo with you. Yes, just the two of them.
Africa. From the roots we rise. Simuza Africa. Simuka, Simuka Africa. Ngati Simuke Africa. Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Angola.
Good evening to everyone. Are you tired? Good evening to everyone. I think the code in Arusha it's making some disturbances. But because you all you are HRs, I think evening will be well to everyone. You need now to forget about the remote, now to engage each one so that everyone should enjoy code. Are we there? Anyway, my name is Christopher Kabalika Mwansaso, the chairperson, Thrapa, and the host of this summit today we are having here. I missed you morning during the opening session. I was not in town. I had some government officials attending in Zanzibar. That's why you missed me during the morning. But because you were here, I was here with you by prayers. So the morning session, I attended by praying with you. I appreciate what you did by the morning. We are ending our session. Nilitamani nizungumze Kiswahili lakini Grace kanikataza. Do you understand Kiswahili? Yeah? Anyway, we are now about to end session. The session was, everyone enjoys the session, isn't it? So if you saw, clap hands for you. When I came here listening from the panelists and the moderator, lovely sister, I was just smiling, see how the panelists introducing, injecting a good knowledge to us. And I thought that on everywhere is very important to us. My advice, is everyone from his workplace, everyone from his organization, he should know and value about the summit. He should know and value about the international conferences which we are organizing as the HRs. You know, HRs, mostly, we are just keeping ourselves back. Let us be fluent to show that we are the backbone of our organization and we are the backbone of our result in our organization. My turn. Today we are in Arusha. We started the first day. We should care, participate, engage, so that at least when we get back, we should have something new to our knowledge. You know, when I was just hearing about the remote workforce, today we are the remote marriage because of the what? Of the panelists, he thought. But this remote should end today after the session. When we are in the rooms, there should not be a remote now. It should be the closeness of ourselves. Yes, why not interming? We are HRs, so how now people can suffer from the code while we are here? So for me, as a chairperson, I welcome someone who feel code during the night. I'm here for him to, or for her to make everything okay. Are you happy? I will bring you a sweater. I bring you a sweater. I have some sweaters to make your code disappearing. So don't worry. But what I mean, let us interact each other. Let us know that Arusha is not now like Zambia. It's not like Nigeria. It's not like what? Like Ghana. So we need now to adapt to the situation in Arusha. Arusha is a good and a nice place, but the code should end during the night. Let us close ourselves. Let us buy our sweaters, jackets, and we'll bring them there nearby, so that at least everyone can pick the good one, so that it can fit. Mr. Raj, you are there? Yeah, your sweater is there. I'm prepared for you. Your sweater is there. Now we can't have the remote wife. We'll be having the wife within, because you were here. A wife can be obtained today, and tomorrow will be not a wife. Mr. Laj, remote wife, now you leave the remote wife. Now you'll be having the closeness wife who is working directly with you. Anyway, I was just trying to make you happy. We live in a kidding place. We need to enjoy. But my last word, karibuni sana Tanzania. You are warmly welcome in Tanzania. And Thrapa is enjoying seeing you available like now. The delegate is more than 500. To me, is a wonderful. Clap a hand for you for coming. See you tomorrow morning. Today's session, I hand over to the moderator. Asante sana.
A round of applause for the chair, Mr. Kabalika. All right. So a couple of announcements before we bring curtains down for day one of AHRS 2026. We have Nestle Kenya. Oh gosh, Nestle Tanzania. Habits. Nestle, you guys have been enjoying the coffee, right? There's also tea. I'm being told that Tanzanians don't do coffee a lot. They do a lot of tea. So there's also tea. And what Nestle does is not just provide the teas and the coffees. They actually lease the machines. So you can get them to your offices so that you don't have to worry about whether the tea lady is remote or present. Right? So please pass by their booth, get to understand how the machines work, and also just get to enjoy some tea and some coffee. We appreciate them as partners. And for the photos you're posting on LinkedIn and everywhere, the hashtag is AHRS 2026. AHRS 2026. That's the hashtag. And of course, there's a LinkedIn page. You can always tag Africa Human Resource, or rather AHRC as well on LinkedIn. Now, the other announcement is the presidents, vice presidents, and CEOs of HR associations. You have a meeting at 6 o'clock right here. There's a leadership roundtable, and your tea will be served here. So you can go and network, and then maybe get your cold sorted. Then you come back at 6 o'clock to have a quick meeting so that you can align. And then tomorrow registration will be from 7:30. We shall start the sessions at 8:30 a.m. Tomorrow, somebody was asking me, do we have speeches tomorrow? No. Tomorrow is for learning, eh? So we have presentations and panels and more presentations and more panels and more and more and more. And then guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Hey, the way the DJ started, I think he was just preparing for tomorrow. So there will be a cocktail evening tomorrow, and details will be shared with you tomorrow morning in terms of location. So come prepared to have an entire day of engagement. And then we request that you register for the tour on Saturday. Register register. You don't really have to pay today. Payment can be done today. But if you intend to go, please do registration today. We need to know the numbers so that we can finalize. The tour is to Tarangire National Park on Saturday morning. So don't just go back home, you know. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is not selfish. So a little bit of fun and discovery is also important. And then the Friday master classes, please register for them as well. Wonderful, wonderful lineup of conversations. I'm told the president wants to say something. All right. So you can also check out the AHRC website, ahrc.com. ahrcafrica.com. That's the website for more details about Africa HR Confederation. Ladies and gentlemen, the first K, kula, kusoma. So you can tick them. Have you learned something? So tumesoma. Now I'm losing you. When I change from kusoma to tumesoma, you are lost. Kusoma. The second K? Kula. Hey, that one we are not discussing. The ST. The third K? Kujibamba. Kujibamba. Okay. I am about to release you to go and do that. The fourth K? Kunetwa kujuana. Now that one has been happening throughout the day. Kusocialize. Naambiwa kusocialize ni kujamiana. That is what mwenyekiti is telling me. Sasa watu wakajamiane. Wamekataa mwenyekiti.